of what it is, but where people will remember your face but not remember your name, even if they've said it 10 times. But they can remember Fat Dog. That's a name.
It is.
But it's not my name, but that's my business name. And then when they remember Fat Dog, they remember the image of my dog. And so then they can associate with, it's like you have to learn these 3 things over here to remember who Ronda Negard is, right? But it helps. And we've had these mnemonic devices when we study for tests and stuff, right? It's the same kind of thing.
I know for me, I mean, having an awful last name like mine, it's helpful to have that imagery there.
I murdered his last name. His last name.
Don't feel, it's Eastern European. Everybody mangles it. And
but yours is so easy, though. Yours is longer, but mine is shorter, and people butcher it more than I would. Yours is phonetically easy.
It is if you understand it. If you're not, familiar with it, if you're coming from a different background that doesn't.
I don't have a European tongue.
It looks like the Scrabble equivalent of a 6-cart pileup.
That's why I just said Todd.
Yeah,
that is a great image that he just put in our brains with words, right?
Oh,
and that's why you should hire him, because he just proved his value there.
That's phenomenal, because I could see all those tiles just piling up.
And that's how you get the nation of Poland.
No wonder you were a lawyer.
Oh, things have gone off the track. Yes. Hey, I got an interesting question. And I want to start with you, Rhonda. If you had a magic wand, and in the industry you're in today, to unplug this misguidance and misunderstanding, what would you do? What would you change to get people to, get into your industry and understand it?
I'm not sure I understand what you're wanting. But I guess if there's a miscommunication on the value, is that what you're saying? Do people not understand the value of design?
Correct.
Okay, there. I got it. Well, you don't have to look any further than your own memory. What are the things that stand out in your memory when you think of brands? Well, there are some that come up immediately, and they might not even be your favorites. Why wouldn't your favorites come to mind first? Well, it's because some of these others have hammered
into the
right, and maybe not verbally, but visually they have. I can think of some brands right now that are coming to the surface.
Yeah. Boston Market.
Oh, here we go.
Again with that.
Right? What is wrong?
But
Don't you remember that commercial? Boston Market, Boston Market.
No.
Oh my gosh, they did
exactly what they wanted to.
Excuse
Think about how that's
moment.
just absolutely.
But it had a negative effect for me.
Doesn't matter. The fact is that you're still talking about it.
You're still talking about it, yeah.
And this
it
years.
doesn't have to be good. It just has to be memorable, and that's another thing. And also to your question, Bill, now that I understand
Yeah,
it.
you got it. Okay.
I think one thing that people forget too is that the branding that you do for your business, yes, it is your business, and the marketing that you do for your business, yes, is for your business. But without clients, you go nowhere. And so people are very protective about, I want this, it's not me, or I don't like it. Well, you know what? You kind of have to let yourself and your own prejudices go.
Yes.
Because you've got to do what will resonate with your clients, not with you, because you're not always going to be your client.
Very, very true.
If you service high-end clients, you don't want, and you live in, a just 2,000 square foot home, that's not small, but that's not high-end either,
True.
Right? So you've got to put your brand where they are, even if you're not.
You're absolutely right, because that's one of the things that that we talk about with clients is, we don't want to brand you to where you're at today. We want to brand you to where you're going to grow into.
Right.
And is your brand at a place for your marketing as well? Can you grow into that image? And we don't talk about who you are today. We talk about what are you wanting to create and develop. Because if we all branded and we all created content to exactly where we're at, it really wouldn't lure anyone through our door. I mean, even Nike has to continue to reach farther and farther out with inspiration just because they're already at it. So I don't care about the size of the company or even the nonprofit. What are you wanting to create? And I think we've lost the ability to a degree to dream, because one of the things that we hit, which is totally creativity. Because when we get back and I say just simple things, where do you want to be next year? I just want to be in business. Well, that's not good enough. How are you shifting? Because I strongly believe that if you first and foremost walk out your destiny. So if you have, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make soap, and it's going to be the best soap. Then make the soap. I mean, how are you shifting people's bathing experience? Their smell, but they call that something else. Olfactory, senses. How are you moving the city, the state, the nation, so that you smell, to enhance the senses? I mean, there's a whole world just around creating soap, and we think, well, it's just a bar. No, it is not. It's not just a bar of soap. So I think that the creative process and dreaming of really where we want to be needs to change. So
I agree. And I think that people assume that because they're not in the big cities, Seattle, Los Angeles, New York, London, whatever, that their dreams can only go so big. And that's not true.
No, not at all.
So now we're going to jump over to Todd, and I'm going to ask you, with a magic wand, what would you change in the industry as far as consumers are concerned about content?
Sure. So first off, I think kill the gimmick would be my first magic wand spell that I'd cast.
Explain that.
And what I mean by that is get rid of spending money on the next new thing, whether it be remarketing or retargeting or however you want to phrase that, or spending a huge amount of money on pay-per-click, and instead work on preparing, based on what Candace has said, for where you want to be, a holistic plan. Abraham Lincoln's got this phrase that I'm going to butcher right now, where he talks that if you give him 6 hours and hand him an axe and tell him to chop down a tree, he'll spend the first 4 of those hours sharpening the axe. He'll spend the first 4 hours of what he's doing planning, thinking about doing things the right way. And so kill the gimmick, stop worrying about how to do the next new thing, and do things based on a thoughtful plan.
I love that, because it's often self-worth before net worth. And it's the same type of value principle that we use with clients to shift their mindset. Self-worth before net worth. If you put you out and you're authentic to what it is, instead of the gimmick, instead of the mask that you think it's the new shiny toy, and you're just, in a sense, you take what the industries are doing, your industry, and you make it work for you with creativity. You don't have to be like everybody else.
Mm-hmm. And shouldn't be if you want to succeed.
Well, this has been really a fantastic conversation. Really appreciate you guys coming in, having a good conversation today. Candace is going to have the last word, but she's already used it because the clock says, you're done.
See how Bill lies?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to have the last word. Well, first of all, how do we contact you, Todd?
Sure. You can find me at toddswrittenword.com. That's TODD. And then you can also, find me. Basically on social media. Yeah, GBS.
Rhonda, how about you?
You can find me on my website, Fat Dog Creatives. That's creatives with an S. Or you can find me on all the social media as Fat Dog Creatives or Ronda Negard. And Negard is Negard.
Well, that's wonderful.
This is an amazing team, and I would actually encourage our listeners that if you've got a marketing plan and you're not quite sure what to do with it, or you've got ideas, pick up the phone, get on, or your keyboard. I'll put this. Pick up your keyboard and get in contact with these guys. They're absolutely incredible, and they can change your results. You're already spending marketing dollars. You should make them count.
Yes.
That wraps us up today. It's been great to be with you, and we hope that you enjoyed our visit. We'd like to have you guys come back again, and we'll leave Candace out of the next conversation, of course.
Oh, that means I get to come back then.
Absolutely not. So until we meet again, remember, keep us smiling.